When the sequel to Godzilla x Kong was first announced, titled Supernova, the fan community absolutely blew up with theories. Dozens of guesses popped up instantly. What or who could be hiding behind that mysterious name? And why would the producers pick a title like that when no Titan in the original canon has ever been called a supernova? Just the name alone hinted at a story on a whole new scale. After New Empire, which revolved around yet another threat from Hollow Earth, it was clear the creators wanted to surprise fans with something completely different. The whole underground civilization and giant monster thing had become familiar, so the writers needed to expand the mythology beyond the usual. That's where the cosmic setting comes in. Supernova will be the first project to explore this new outer space side of the monsterverse. Basically, Supernova signals that the franchise is going beyond the planet, taking its mythology to a cosmic level. Just the title sets the tone. This won't be a simple Titan showdown on Earth, but a story where the stakes and the action reach interplanetary proportions. For fans, that opens up an enormous playground for theories and expectations, since space in the Godzilla universe is largely unexplored territory. When it comes to Supernova, the first thing most fans think of is Space Godzilla. Everything about the movie seems to point that way, from the title itself to long-standing theories that this Titan should have appeared in the post-credits scene of New Empire. So far though, the creators haven't officially confirmed anything. The film is being directed by Grant Spittori, who hasn't weighed in on rumors about the main villain. My guess is we'll probably get the first short teaser teasing the villain by the end of this year. The logo and a brief teaser have already dropped, but a full reveal of the antagonist will likely come with next year's first proper trailer. Even so, Space Godzilla seems like the most obvious candidate for the MonsterVerse debut. The name Supernova fits his origin perfectly and flows logically from the ending of New Empire. He's essentially Godzilla's doppelganger, far more powerful and unique because he was born when Godzilla's cells got sucked into a black hole after a supernova, merging with crystalline life forms. Supernova directly hints that the next threat comes from space, making Space Godzilla a perfect match. A villain long considered one of Godzilla's toughest foes. First appearing in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, 1994, he was created when Godzilla's cells scattered across the cosmos were pulled through a black hole and fused with crystalline matter, mutating into a new Titan. Bigger and stronger than Godzilla, his crystals grant him insane powers while also serving as a vulnerability, as fans saw in the Godzilla Island series. His size and energy manipulation make him a threat that could hold off Godzilla alone, while still challenging Kong and Monarch's forces together. That origin could easily be updated for the MonsterVerse. A supernova can collapse into a black hole, so the title itself could hint that Space Godzilla emerges from such an event. Bringing him in would also fit the franchise's recent trend of having Godzilla face darker versions of himself. Even more exciting is how this might tie back to one of the series' oldest teasers. The Godzilla vs. Kong art book featured cave paintings of a massive dragon-like monster descending from the stars, facing armies of Kongs, Godzillas, and humans marked in red. That imagery suggested a conflict so huge it would unite all forces, and Supernova could finally bring that vision to life. With Titan armies already revealed in King of the Monsters and New Empire, a cosmic invader powerful enough to rally the planet's defenders feels like the next logical step. A fight against Space Godzilla would naturally escalate the series. The MonsterVerse has consistently mixed classic Toho monsters with new ideas, from Kong Skull Island to Monarch series, and Space Godzilla could be the ultimate test of that formula. Having Godzilla battle a twisted version of himself while pushing the world to unite would make this the boldest conflict yet. If it happens, Space Godzilla might not just be the villain of Supernova, but the most powerful enemy the MonsterVerse has ever introduced. Scientifically and canonically, Space Godzilla is a super-powered version of Godzilla, and most fans consider him one of the strongest foes our hero has ever faced. His appearance naturally raises the stakes. The threat goes cosmic, and Godzilla may have to team up with Kong to take him down. Visually, Space Godzilla looks like Godzilla, but with massive crystal spikes shooting from his shoulders and back, plus a sharp crystal horn on his head. His powers are wild: flight, crystal manipulation, force fields, a devastating cosmic beam, and even telekinesis. Unlike most kaiju, he's not just brute force, he's tactical, which makes him especially dangerous. In the 90s, he became the poster child for Godzilla's outer space era, and if Supernova leans into that, we're in for a seriously cosmic showdown. The cosmic angle is backed up by a bunch of smaller hints too. Since Supernova was announced, cast and crew have been posting on Instagram with space-themed emojis, subtly fueling speculation that this won't be just another Titan brawl on Earth, but a showdown with a threat on a cosmic scale. Based on everything we know so far, the appearance of Space Godzilla, or some other spaceborne villain, feels like the most logical direction for the story. This isn't just a fan theory, it's a natural next step for the franchise, paving the way for massive events and interplanetary conflicts. Last month, speculation ramped up after cinematographers Dan Mindel and Simon England shared photos showing what looked like lightning bolts and griffin-like creatures, leading fans to wonder if Zeus and a griffin might appear. Filming locations added more fuel to the fire. The sweeping landscapes of Utah are widely believed to be perfect for introducing a creature like the griffin, but nothing stirred discussion quite like posts from Modine. Fans think these might be the first real hints at Space Godzilla joining the MonsterVerse. Shortly after his casting, he started posting clips of Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla on Instagram. With no context, fans tore every frame apart, debating whether these were intentional teasers, subtle nods, or just casual references. Given the timing and the other small hints scattered throughout production, it's easy to see why people interpret them as deliberate teasers, or even spoilers. At the same time, Modine has made it clear that he's a lifelong Godzilla fan, genuinely excited about the franchise. So it's just as likely that he's posting these clips to celebrate the movies that inspired him, not necessarily drop hints about Supernova. Either way, it's keeping fans buzzing and speculation running wild. One of the standout plot points from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, where the villain made his first appearance, was his abduction of Godzilla's offspring, Godzilla Jr. Whether or not Space Godzilla shows up in Supernova, the film could easily introduce a retconned version of Godzilla's son, just like the new Empire brought in Zuko for Kong. The MonsterVerse shows no signs of slowing down, so it makes sense for Legendary to set up a new generation ready to carry the mantle from Godzilla and Kong. That also makes the movie feel more Godzilla-centric, which ups the odds a little. Of course, Toho charges for the rights to its classic monsters on a case-by-case basis. Legendary even had an original Titan, Phosphira, lined up as a peacemaker in the new Empire in case they couldn't secure Mothra again. After that film's huge success with 2 original Titans, it wouldn't be surprising if Legendary chose to go with another new monster instead of paying for a classic like Space Godzilla or Gigan. So it's entirely possible we won't see the actual Space Godzilla in Supernova. More likely, we'll get a brand new kaiju inspired by him, familiar but reimagined with a new name, updated design, and maybe even a different origin story. Its abilities and backstory could still pay homage to the classic version. Space Godzilla is one of Godzilla's most iconic enemies, born during the 90s extraterrestrial era. His origin varies. Some say Mothra carried Godzilla's cells into space. Others claim it was Biollante. Once in the void, cosmic radiation merged the cells with crystalline lifeforms, creating a terrifying new Titan. Everything points to Supernova being a direct sequel to the new Empire. There might be a small time jump, but it's likely picking up right where we left off. Kong is now the official king of Hollow Earth, no longer just a wandering warrior. He's got an army of giant apes, including Shimo and Zuko. That bond with Zuko could even set up the long-rumored Son of Kong spin-off. On the surface, Godzilla has settled into his role as humanity's silent guardian. His arc feels complete. Feared destroyer, reluctant protector, then Earth's living sentinel. One rules below, the other above. That means the next villain can't just be another bruiser Titan. This has to be a planetary level threat. Something strong enough to challenge Godzilla, Kong, Shimo, and an army of giant apes. And who's to say Legendary's take on Space Godzilla will even be a single kaiju? What if it's a collective threat, multiple creatures manifesting as one unstoppable cosmic force? If Supernova delivers on the scale it's teasing, it could push the MonsterVerse into a whole new phase. Bigger stakes, deeper lore, and a lineup blending fan-favorite titans with all new threats. Legendary has been steadily building a mythology as compelling as the monster battles themselves, and if this chapter dives further into Hollow Earth mysteries, ancient Titan wars, and cosmic enemies, it could easily be the franchise's most ambitious entry yet. With Monarch expanding on the small screen, the MonsterVerse is in a rare sweet spot where movies and series feed feed into each other, keeping fans hooked year-round. Whether Space Godzilla, or a reimagined version, shows up or not, Supernova already feels like it's shaping up to be a massive turning point. The kind of event film that doesn't just entertain, but reshapes the entire playing field for what comes next.